You are watching 32 teams in 32 days on the Game Time Sports Network. It's a great day, sports world. What's up to all the sports lovers, the haters, the addicts, and the fanatics? This is Larry Patterson for GT365. It's Game Time 365 Sports right here on the GTSN. It's the Game Time Sports Network. Here on our third team in the AFC South, sweeping right on through the division, man. We got two more divisions after this, so we've been sweeping through this thing, man. Mon, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Like you said, sweeping through this AFC South. Been one of the most interesting divisions by far, in my opinion, just because of the guests we've had on and hearing things about teams that nobody really covered because it's the AFC South. They say it's one of the weaker divisions. So for us to get a little exposure to the division and get to talk about them, hopefully we can bring some to the table for you guys to pick up and learn and have you something to look towards to during football season. So yeah, man, I'm doing well.
If you know a Jags fan, tag them. If you are a Jags fan, hey man, comment, share your thoughts. This team went 4-13 last year, third in the AFC South. Um, Went on a four-game losing streak, won their first game in week 5, and then went 1-5 over the next 6 games before they hit the bye week. Closed out the season going 2-4 and missing the playoffs. I want to say was it the second straight season they missed the playoffs? So it don't seem like that long ago. Like they were sitting there coming back on Justin Herbert in the playoff game.
Yeah, because
Uh,
remember that year they were like the one seed, they're like 8-2 at one point. They were like the one seed, and the wheels just fell off.
just fell off, man. So Trevor Lawrence, not the best year that he had. Played 10 games. He passed for 2,045 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. It hasn't always been like a quarterback that had amazing numbers. You come into the first year in 2021 with 36-41 on the yards, 12 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. That was his rookie year. He passed for over 4,000 yards, 4,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in his second year. His third year, 21-14 on touchdown interception ratio, and then last year 11-7. Um, is some well, I'm gonna ask you, what was your thoughts on this Jaguars team from last year?
Man, I mean, I thought the Jaguars would be one of those surprise teams, coming into the year with the quote unquote down AFC South. I thought this would be the year they take the division over and you know supplant themselves as the alpha dog. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. There was some coaching departures that happened during the season. Was it during the season or before the season? It had to be during the season. They let Doug
Um,
Peterson go
Doug Peterson. I believe it was it
during this
last year?
last year during the season. It
I
had to
I,
be 'cause
I thought they let him play it out. Didn't they let
they
him
may
play it
have
out?
they may have let them play it out. I'm not really sure, but nevertheless, there was no chemistry there, no whatever the case may be. For some reason, it just didn't work with Dougie P. We all know how good of a coach Dougie P can get, and sometimes we all thought, and I thought him and Trevor Lawrence would be a match made in heaven, but sometimes it don't work out that way. So this is Trevor Lawrence's third coach. Third
Yeah.
coach, yeah, it's Urban Mild and Dougie P. Then he got Liam Coen. So I thought, the emergence of Brian Thomas stepping up, being the number one, was huge for them. And then, you got Travis Etienne being, what he was, and Tank Bigsby, and you know, Ingram was the tight end there last year. He was in and out of the lineup. So I think it was an up and down and inconsistent year. If you ask any Jags fans, and they're disappointed when you get labeled the Prince coming out of Clemson, coming off a national championship, being number one overall pick. You're expecting, hey, year 2, year 3, year 4, you to take that leap and get into that stratosphere of the upper echelon of the quarterbacks, and Herbert's, Jacksons, Burrows. It's just not, he has all the talent. It's just, he hasn't put it together yet. And hopefully, we throw 2024 to the side and he get him an offensive guy, Liam Coen. We'll be seeing him do great things in Tampa. He'll have a bigger impact on the NFL than he did the last best couple seasons.
I don't think Trevor lost a high school game, right?
I don't think so.
So this basically is his first taste of losing. And then you spoke on the running back situation. Tank Bixby was the better running back last year.
The healthier
Now,
running back.
yeah, ETN rushed for well, I ain't gonna say rushed for, he rushed for over 1,000 yards, but he had 1,400 all-purpose yards in the last 2 years. Well, with the first 2 years. Last year was like the down year for him. He played 15 games, but it just seemed like it just was not it. I think he finished the season with 558 yards and two touchdowns, 3.7 per on the yards per average. Tank Bixby 766. He rushed for 4.6 per. They got a lot of running back help on the way. We'll get into that in a second. Brian Thomas Jr., you expected a lot of production to come out of him, but he had 113, 133 targets, 87 catches for 1,282 yards and 10 touchdowns. What you think about the emergence of Brian Thomas?
I mean, he was kind of like the. I'm not gonna say the Jags fans don't kill me, but he was not like one of the emerging wide receivers coming out of the draft because everybody was like, "Oh, Monique Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, that duo." And then, oh, here we got a 6'4", 6'3" wide receiver run a 4.3, 4.4. Emerge. I think he did. I think he performed better than I expected for him to be as a rookie. I don't know if he got Pro Bowl nods or not. I could be wrong. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. But he was one of the.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there you go. He was one of the. Well, I mean, making a Pro Bowl now, all you got to do is play 5 games, 6 games. You can make the Pro Bowl if you have a couple good highlights. Pro Bowl ain't what it was back when he was coming up. Just throw that out there. But I mean, he
Yeah.
had one.
Gardner Minshew made the Pro Bowl like a
You
year ago
feel
or so, right?
you feel me? You feel me? So I mean, it's
Nowhere near the stats. Hey, go ahead. My bad.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, he had one of the offensively behind my boy. He probably had one of the best rookie seasons last year, and they got a whole lot to build on towards the future. And bringing in a guy that we're going to talk about here in a very few seconds. That everybody was coveting, throughout this draft process is only going to make him better and make Trevor Lawrence better. So man, I thought Brian Thomas exceeded expectations in year 1 as a rookie. So I mean, year 2, I mean, we'll get to the projections, but I'm looking for him to take that next jump of 90 balls, 1,300 yards, 10 to 12 touchdowns, get up into that upper echelon of, hey, I'm one of them dudes now. I'm here. So
The To circle back around, spin the block on the quarterback situation, Mac Jones was also there because Trevor Lawrence only played 10 games. Mac Jones played he started the 7 games, 2-5 record. He's not there anymore. Then you look at the other receiving options. Evan Ingram, we have him now. He played 9 games. Let's hope on the health for Evan Ingram in Broncos country. But he had 47 catches, 365 yards. Not the most productive. Brendan Strange came in with 40 catches, 411. He'll look to step up this year. Parker Washington, another quality target. He had 32 catches, 390 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So then you go to the defensive side of the ball, and they had Trayvon Walker, a quiet 10.5 sacks. I believe he had 10 sacks for like the last 2 seasons. And that first season, when he went first overall, and then Aiden Hutchinson went second overall, a lot of people, there was a lot of talk about that, the way that those two went. And in his first year, he only had 3.5 sacks. Second year, 10.5 on his third. So the production is coming up. I don't know if he might be eligible for a 5th-year option this year, being that this is his first. No, this is his 4th year coming in. So
yeah,
he's eligible after this season.
yeah, and yeah, they probably will pick it up because he's trending in the right direction.
Josh Hines Allen with 8 sacks, uh, down from the 17 and a half that he had the year before. And then everybody else like below 5 sacks, below 4 sacks, actually 34 sacks as a team. And I believe that was like the fifth worst. So if you think about it, pass rushes, they addressed that as well in the draft and possible free agent. We'll get into that. Um, but then let's go into their draft picks while we at it. So the first pick they took Travis Hunter. They traded up to number two. They was at number five. Travis Hunter from Colorado, the cornerback, wide receiver. Then they took Caleb Ransall, the cornerback out of Tulane, in the third round. Also in the third round, Wyatt Millen at 89. They had back to back picks, 88 and 89. Wyatt Millen out of West Virginia, offensive guard. In the fourth round, they had two picks. Bashul Tootin out of Virginia Tech, running back, and then linebacker Jack Kaiser out of Notre Dame. In the sixth round, they took another linebacker, Jalen McLeod from Auburn. Also in the sixth round, safety Rayon Lane from Navy. If I ain't mistaken, I thought I know the rules changed, but like Army, Navy, Air Force, I thought those guys wasn't eligible to get drafted. What
Ye-
a
Yeah, they're eligible to get drafted, but I don't know if they got to have like permission or something. I think it's a waiver. I'm not really sure, but I know the rules have changed. I will look into that and get back with you with an answer. But I think some rules have changed to where they can be drafted now.
And then two seventh round picks, center Jonah Mahim out of USC, and then LaQuint Allen, running back out of Syracuse. So they picked up two running backs to go along with the rushing attack that they have now. Travis Etienne, I figure, will probably be the odd man out in this situation, depending on how the rest of the room performs in training camp and preseason. I wish I had a Jags insider here to tell us about how that battle is going. But what you think about the draft picks? You want me to pull it back up?
Yeah, pull it up for me, champ. Pull it back up for me. Of course, I like the Travis, pick, cornerback, wide receiver. I did not like the Wyatt Mullen pick out of West Virginia. And then I also like the Jonah Monham out of USC. He got hurt last year or year before last, and he came back to school. And I thought he was a quality center for USC at the time that he was there. But Bashar Tootin and what's my guy, LaQuint Allen out of Syracuse, they got two running backs. So clearly they're sending a message to Travis Etienne that hey, the time is ticking. I don't think they, and I don't know if they picked up his option or not, Larry. I don't believe so. I don't think they would with them drafting two running backs. But correct me on that if I'm wrong.
Picked up
So
picked up Travis Etienne.
yeah, his
I think
his,
they
his
declined it.
yeah, they might have. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but this draft is going to hit or miss on the first, at number two. If he hits, which I believe he will, on both sides of the ball, then hey man, this draft class can be probably a good one for them. But they need their draft classes to hit for them, and it's just going to be if Liam Coen gets Trevor Lawrence going right, it could be fireworks in Jacksonville. It could be a whole lot of air raid thing for them boys out there down in South Florida.
In Duval.
Yeah, that was wild.
I
Uh,
was trying to find the damn video for that. I couldn't get one to fit on here on StreamYard, but man, y'all already know how it went, man.
yeah,
Um uh Travis Hunter, speaking of, now I'm gonna ask you a question after I read off these stats real quick that he had in college. And I think it's very disrespectful that college football reference don't have the Jackson State stats on here.
absolutely.
But last year he played 13 games. He had 96 receptions, bro. 96 receptions for 1,258 yards, 15 touchdowns. My man was averaging 13.1 yards per reception. And then on the defensive side of the ball, he had 11 PDs with 4 interceptions.
Mm.
So my question to you, it seems like Jacksonville is going to be going in the direction of giving him snaps on offense and defense. The I figure it's like the number is like what's the number on snaps? Like what does he play more? But the question I want to ask you is how do you see this playing offense then jumping back and playing on defense work?
Oh, I think it'll work out. For it has to work out. We know things can happen, but Jacksonville wouldn't have drafted him if they didn't have a plan for him to play both sides of the ball. I'm pretty sure they discussed that beforehand, maybe in draft meetings or whatever the case may be. But I think it's going to be great. I think he's a starter on offense, and then he has like sub packages and on defense. So I think he get most of the line share on offense, and maybe he'll be in nickel packages or special packages on defense. So they're gonna live up their promise to him as, hey, we're gonna let you be you, as the GM said that came over from the Rams. We're gonna let you be you, and you can impact the game on both sides of the ball. I just sometimes question the durability, which he hasn't had no injuries yet, and at all. So, but I just question the durability piece. But I think he's going to predominantly be a wide receiver, and then run a little mix of sprinkle a little packages on defense as a nickel or maybe an outside corner for them.
He's logged in as the second cornerback right now behind Jerry and Jones. So, and I mean, that could change as well. But I like something that Deion Sanders had said, with Travis being on offense, and then you see your starting cornerback getting killed, and he's sitting on the sideline. And so he made a good point. It's like, what do you do? My only concern is like, too much burn on the legs, too much
Yeah,
burn on the body.
it's like playing like we talked about like earlier with him. It's like you playing 2 seasons in one. If you're going to go back and forth playing ball that much on both sides of the ball. So, I mean, but hey, man, I mean, he's done it in college with no issues. So, I mean, until he proves otherwise that he can't do it, nah, I let him go out there and rock out.
You know how they're gonna always question it. He did it in college. And, college ain't that much different from the NFL. I mean, it's different, but I mean, the NFL is just a little faster.
Yeah,
It's
you got
professional.
you got grown men that got mortgages and kids and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, man.
Um, and so let me get into. We're gonna touch back on the draft picks, but let me get into like their key additions. They also picked up De'Ami Brown, who had a productive year last year. I think he got 10 million. 1 year, 10 million.
Mm.
And you a role player, you getting 10 million. I mean, hey, that's good. That's good money, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had that. I think Tutu Atwell got the same thing out there with LA.
Yeah.
10 million guaranteed.
They also picked up some offensive linemen, Chuma Udoga, for depth, and then Robert Hainsey, who came over from Tampa Bay, who started 2 seasons. So I think he got beat out by somebody over there. Jay, if you watching, go ahead and ship that information in for me. And then Fred Robertson, another depth guy, Jordan Lewis, cornerback, who could provide something over there. Patrick McCarry coming over from Baltimore. And then Eric Murray, the safety. Emmanuel Agba, defensive end. The key losses was Evan Ingram, Gabriel Davis, Andre Cisco. That may hurt them. Uh, Other guys like Dearness Johnson, Mac Jones. So, Mitch Morse, center. So, I mean, just some guys. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
I think the one signing that from this last year's free class of theirs, like Gabe Davis, man, like what happened? Like he had that one game in Buffalo where he went crazy, and it's like got paid off that one game, and he didn't even last but one season in Jacksonville. And they let him go, so it's like that was strange to me. I'm like, maybe Buffalo and them knew something that we didn't know, and whatever the case may be. But I thought that one sign would be like, oh shoot, okay, they got legit. I know they had Christian Kirk and Zay Jones and all them boys, but I thought Gabe Davis would come in and do a lot more than what he did, but I guess it just didn't work out with Jacksonville, and he's on to team number 3 now, whatever that may be.
Yeah, I don't know where. I don't know. I thought he was in Pittsburgh at one point.
He may be. I'm not really sure where he is, but I know he ain't there no more. And Jackson,
Um, so if you looking okay, so if you're looking at the wide receiver room, right? Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter. Other than that, if you look at the depth chart, who scares you? Other than those two,
I'm not gonna say Diami Brown scare me, but I done seen what he done do. He did with the Commanders with the time he was there, and he can get past you. He can scoot on past you if you're not careful. But don't nobody really. It's not don't nobody really scare you. It's like okay, we're not gonna let Brian Thomas wreck the game. But then again, if you're not gonna let Brian Thomas wreck the game, okay, you still got a Heisman Trophy one on the other side that's just as legit. Who reminds me of a certain wide receiver in the league, but I get murdered every time I say his name, Justin Jefferson. But so I mean, yeah, you expect pick your poison with those two. So I mean, I don't know if nobody scares you, but it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
and then I'm gonna walk that back because Parker Washington did give you production, and then De'Ami Brown, as you just spoke on, and then with those two, then with a Brenton Strange going into I don't know what this year 3 for him or something. If I'm them though, if there's another weapon out there, I'm definitely investing in it.
Oh, sure. You got a Keenan Allen out there, you got a Amari Cooper out there, but I don't know if that's might be overkill though. Like if you go get one of those guys, like is it overkill? Like do you want to bring a veteran in and like not say stunt the growth of Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter, but you want to let them two boys eat. You know what I mean? Because they were, you spent premium capital on both of those boys. So I mean, you gotta let them go ahead and do their thing. So I don't know, man. I just think those two and Diami Brown and the receivers you had mentioned will be enough. Hopefully, Trevor Lawrence he has that talent to where he can get the ball to all of them and make sure things happen for them. But we will see.
And then Liam Coen did take a team who had one of the worst offenses, especially in the run game. And like they had the worst run game, moved them up to fourth the next year.
Bucky
And
went
then
crazy for it.
and then you know how Baker went. So I'm imagining what he can do for Baker. Can he do the same thing for Trevor?
I
Because I'm
hope.
cheering for Trevor.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Because we said the same thing about Dougie P when he came over from when he had started out that year. Hey, we get Dougie P with
WP won a championship.
at some point, if it doesn't work out with Liam, then we can't look at the coaches no more and say, hey, it ain't the coaches. You know what I mean? Hey, you got an extension of you got a $275 million extension. And Larry, if you can pull up his record in the league right now, it's probably under 500. Maybe it ain't what it was hyped up to be. Like I said, he still got time. He's young. I mean,
Let me pull that up real quick.
I think it's under 500. I believe. I could be wrong, but
Trevor Lawrence record is
it's like the same thing as Gardner. I think they put him and like Gardner Minshew's record up beside each other. It was like 1 or 2 games off from each other.
22 and 38. 69 touchdowns and 46 interceptions. That's not what you expect. I mean, that's not what you expect maybe at your first or second year going in, but to be your fourth year for a
Yeah.
number one overall pick, I know it happens, but this is not what Shad Khan was expecting.
Fourth year, third coach.
How many GM?
He had Balky. I think Balky been there for forever. I mean, not forever, but he came up from San Francisco. Whatever year he came up from San Francisco, he's been the GM, so he picked Trayvon. And I don't know if he was there when Trevor Lawrence was there or not. I mean, if he was, I mean, that's a gimme pick. You got to make that pick.
And then you add James Gladstone right now as your GM, and you see the moves that he's been making so
He's
far.
aggressive. He's aggressive.
He's aggressive, and we seen that in the draft. You coming all the way from fifth, and you giving another first round pickup to get Travis Hunter. That's aggressive. So hooray to James Gladstone for making that move right there. Not a lot of GMs is doing that.
Now they first go around. Not many gyms got that leash. Not unless you got some ownership behind you to say, "Hey, you do what you need to do." But you know, we all know the situation where um, how Trent Baalke got let go, and Liam Coen said, "Hey, I'm not coming in unless such and such is gone, and I want this GM." And so, man, it's I mean, for you, you said if you come over there be a first time GM, you say, "Hey, I'm coming up from 5 to 2 to give up premium capital in the future years, but I want this guy." Yeah, you that's yeah, you got a set on you for sure.
Walker Little and Anton Harrison. I don't think they really had the best years last year, but you look at them and they got to play a little better this year. You added Pat McCarry, and then Ezra Cleveland. He's already over there. Then with a Robert Hainsey, so Wyatt Millum you drafted. Who knows what you're gonna get out of him? I like what they did to at least help Trevor going into this season. Like, hey, we're gonna give you a little protection. We'll throw you this guy. We'll trade up for this guy. I like what they've done. It's stepping in the right direction.
Yeah, man. I mean, you have to because once again, I repeat, you paid this man, 5 years, $275 million extension, and you always want to look right, whether you're the worst GM in the league or the best GM in the league. You always want to look right. You know what I mean? So, speaking of the offensive line, Anton Harrison has been a little disappointment for me coming out of Oklahoma a couple years back. I expected a lot more out of him, but he's been inconsistent, in that lineup, and that's Trevor Lawrence's right. He's the right tackle. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I'm a little disappointed in his play. Um, but yeah, it's like a patchwork offensive line. Like Walker Little, he's solid. I think he came out of Stanford, I believe. If I'm not, I could be wrong, but
I want to see. Yeah, I
I want
believe
to.
so.
I believe so. He's been solid. They lost Brandon Sheriff, right? He's Brandon Sheriff's gone, right?
Yeah, he gone.
Yeah, they lost him. He came over from Commanders few years ago, so he was a solid guard, Pro Bowl guard. Yeah, man. So they're doing everything in their power to make sure the print stays uptight and upright. But we all know free agency, you can't fix a football team in 1 year. So man, I'm pretty sure they're going to build on it and have a plan for him in next off season and in next year's draft.
Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker probably an underrated when they're healthy and everything is flowing right. I feel like they got the potential to be one of the best pass rushing duos in the league.
Yeah, I believe so. Like you said, the light bulb for Trayvon Walker finally came on because if you remember that cycle he came out, it was like, where is he coming from? Like nobody had him, being number one overall pick. I think it was like maybe 2 weeks before the draft. Vegas know stuff before we do, and you started seeing him pop up on number one Osby number one overall pick, and people were like, "Whoa, somebody knows something we don't know." And then he worked out, had all the measurables, 6'5", 6'6", whatever. And I was like, okay, he's definitely going the night before. Everybody knew he was going number one overall. But I will say, I'm a little disappointed in Josh Hines Allen because before he got the contract, he was like right up there with the up there with them. And I don't know if he's been injury riddled or whatever the case may be, but after he got his contract, he has just I guess he just hasn't been the same, man. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a scheme issue or whatever, but he wasn't racking up like he was before he got paid.
I think he put on some weight,
Okay.
but then I'm hearing that he lost some weight, so maybe we can see that production come back this year. Um, I think I heard that on. Matter of fact, I heard it on Sirius XM this morning. They were talking about it. They both accounted for most of the production on the sacks from the 34 sacks that they had. And then, with Devin Lloyd, they didn't pick his fifth year option up.
Mm.
He led the team with 113 tackles, and then Coen, he had 108. And I believe Coen missed some games. Like he only played 13. So he still managed to get over 100 plus tackles, which he been doing that for like 5 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, back when he was in Atlanta, he was cooking like that. So he was just under the radar. Nobody knew who he was. Then he got the big payday, and of course, all the eyes go to you once you get that big bag. They expect you to produce as a Pro Bowl linebacker.
Um, so then other guys, oh, you pick up Eric Armstead. I forgot all about him. So you
Mm,
pick up Eric Armstead in the off season. And so you also got Davon Hamilton, who's been over in Jacksonville for a minute. So Hines Allen, Davon Hamilton, Eric Armstead, Trayvon Walker seems like a quiet duo that could be wrecking some havoc coming in. Then when you got guys like Dwayne Smoot, who's been there forever as well, Emmanuel Agua, who's a productive pass rusher, and then Jordan Jefferson and Mason Smith was just drafted not too long ago out of LSU. I mean, who knows? They can show something going into their third or fourth year, whatever they're on. We spoke on Olakun and then Devin Lloyd. Is Jack Kaiser the Devin Lloyd replacement?
yeah,
I
man,
said,
it's a possibility, man. They ain't pick up his option. I mean, and I'm not saying because he didn't pick up nobody's option that they're automatically out of there. It's just, hey, we want to see how the season plays out, and then we can get something done at the end of the year. We will, but yeah, man, it's definitely looking like it could be some competition in that room for sure.
Ventrell Miller. Also, I think he came in that the Mason Smith, Jordan Jefferson draft. I want to say. So it's still a lot of unproven talent that you got in there that you still got to see what you can get out of. Drafted Jalen McLeod, Dennis Gardick, a key addition. He had a nice year over there in Arizona, and I think he got hurt. And then when you go to the cornerback room, Jerry and Jones, you got Tyson Campbell, who, let's face it, if you want to talk about Josh Hines Allen, I think Tyson Campbell might be in the same conversation because I believe he got paid too. And since he's been paid, like I don't think he's either he's been hurt or he's just not the same cornerback before he got paid.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Uh, and then Darnell Savage and then Eric Murray in your safety position. But Caleb Ransall could challenge, for one of those spots as a starter too. So, um, what's your thoughts on the roster?
I think the roster it has some pieces on there. It has cornerstone pieces. You can name Travis. I mean, these cornerstone pieces that I'm naming, man, not bad cornerstone pieces to have. You got Travis, Trevor Lawrence if he's right. Josh Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker. Um, if Tyson Campbell is right, he can be one of those pieces. But I think it's a roster in flux and people coming in, new regimes coming in, want to put that stamp on a roster. So you still have two regimes rostering on one. Um, but yeah, man, I feel like there can be some. I definitely think the secondary can upgrade. Um, I remember Donnell Savage coming out of the University of Maryland before he got drafted by the Green Bay Packers a few years ago. I had a lot of hopes for him, but Green Bay let him go. And I don't think his impact has been what they were hoping to get out of Jacksonville. Of course, it's just year one, I think it's year one or maybe year two. But I still think, there's some room on this roster for, improvement, especially the offensive line and the secondary for sure. Um, yeah, so they got a little ways to go, but not far off.
These guys got 18 starters returning, which is a good thing. And then offensively, they were ranked total offense 25th, 24th in the pass, 26th in the run game. They were 26th in points, averaging just 18 points per game. He was sacked 32 times between the two quarterbacks. So that was tied for seventh most. And then they weren't good on third down. Defensively, 31st overall. Uh, Passing defense, 32nd. Rushing defense, 25th. Points allowed, 27. Interceptions, just 6 interceptions from this defense.
So
So that's
we probably could have went out there and got about 2, 3 ourselves. Well, you know what I'm saying? Just being in the wrong spot, and I know what we're doing. You know what I mean? But that's tough.
so so is I don't know if this is related to the same question I asked you earlier, but is a lot of pressure on Travis being that, like, you look at this team only has 6 interceptions, and being that the defensive presence that he can provide, is it a little pressure on him?
Nah, man, I don't think it's no pressure on him, man. If it's pressure on him, it's pressure on everybody because one guy cannot be that big of a difference maker for a roster for a room that's that bad. I mean, yes, he can help, but I wouldn't put no pressure on him as a rookie, knowing that he's going to be going. Well, it's pressure because you're a number 2 overall pick. So yeah, you can say it's a little pressure, but not not to the point where hey, if you don't have 6 interceptions, we just could make or break our defense, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's just a little there, but I'm not going to rely on Travis Hunter to be the end all be all in the secondary, especially when you have former second round pick Tyson Campbell just got paid, need to step up and produce. But yes, definitely for sure. And he got Jerry and Jones. As well that need to step up and make some plays for this defense. But yeah, man, it's always pressure for the kids.
Let's get into the schedule.
Ooh,
Week 1, you're at home against Carolina, so you got the battle of the Cats, and week 2, you're at Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence. Oh man. Week 3, you got the Texans. So CJ Stroud, and then week 4, you're at San Francisco. Week 5, you got a Monday night matchup against Kansas City. Week 6, you at home against Seattle. So they're at home 3 straight games against the Chiefs on a Monday night. Then you got the Seahawks. You got they're home 2 games, and then they go across the pond and they play the Rams at 9:30. So then you got a bye week. Isn't it one of those teams that we were talking about that went over across the pond, and then the next week Cleveland, I think.
yeah.
So I mean, the NFL treats Jacksonville so well when they go across the pond.
I'm telling you, like Jacksonville is their low key international team, bro. I promise you, they over there, bro. I think that the last 5 years they've been over there at least one time,
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
once.
And I think for the past couple years they've been over there
A
more
couple
than.
times.
After your bye week, you're at the Raiders, and then you're at the Texans. So you face the Texans twice within the first 10 weeks. The season. Week 11, you're at home against the Chargers. Then you're on the road against Arizona, and then Tennessee, and then you're at home against the Colts and the Jets. And then week 16, you at Denver. Week 17, you at the Colts before finishing up at home against the Titans. I think this is tough. This is
Think
tough.
so?
I think it's a tough one
Really?
because you don't know what you're getting out of Carolina. You don't know how Bryce Young is going to look, and then you face Joe Burrow, which I mean that could be outright just
First one at 50.
a slugfest. CJ Stroud, you facing him, then you go and face San Francisco, all the way on another coast. No matter how they look, I mean that's always a tough out. Then the Chiefs, the Seahawks, you don't know what you're going to see out of them. The Rams, that's on neutral site. Raiders, you don't know what Geno going to do. Texans again, Chargers, Cardinals, Titans. You don't know how those division matchups going to go. The Jets, who knows how that quarterback situation going to look, but you know the defense going to be all right. Denver, I mean, who coming in at 52-80 doing
Anybody can. I mean, it's possible. Shoot, anybody can come in. Keep going.
new new year before finishing at the Colts? You don't know how those last 2 games are going to go between the Colts and the Titans. Who's Cam Ward? Cam Ward could kind of light it up. So
You right because you talk about Daniel Jones. He might be 15-1 by this time. So you right. Running.
Daniel Jones, like you said, he might be 15-1 on the MVP campaign, man.
All right, okay. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. This AFC South, man. It's like nobody. It's who wants to win a division? Who wants it? We're going to talk about the Texans tomorrow. They got a brand new offensive line. The Colts, they got a quarterback situation. Titans, they get no rookie quarterback in the fight. So I mean, if you T Law, if you want it, hey, here it is right here for you. It's on a silver platter. Um, so I mean, they definitely can win a division. I'm not gonna pick them to win a division, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they win division 10-7. You know, fighting with CJ Stroud. So I mean, yeah, just I mean, it's a decent schedule. I don't think it's teams on there that they can't beat. They always play it. For some reason, the division games be super close, and I can see Trevor Lawrence. He always well not always beat Justin Herbert, but he got Justin Herbert's number. Like Justin Herbert exploded. I mean, blew up so in that playoff game, but that was years ago. But the AFC South has is winnable games, man. That division can be won quick and early. It all depends on Trevor Lawrence if he can stay healthy. He's dealing with he had a couple surgeries and he was out a couple games. He didn't play a full whatever the last past couple seasons. So I mean, yeah, man, I definitely see them being one of those two teams to win this division finally in 2025.
I see the NFC South and the AFC South as like each and every year, not each and every year, but like the last recent years, it's one like those two divisions of teams. It's just like who really wants it?
Yeah,
Like, because I think we was talking about that with Jay the other day, and it's like they win games, or we was talking to Mike. They winning games that you don't expect them to win, but then they're losing games. Like what are we doing? Like who wants the
like,
division?
who gonna lose? Like the Bucks lose to the Saints? Like what is going on? Like,
Right.
but it's like I think this that those two divisions are the least predictable divisions to pick a winner because you just don't know. At least in the West you got Mahomes, Bo Nix. In the NFC West you got Matt Stafford. In the NFC North you got Jordan Love, Jared Goff. Hey, it's gonna be one of those two. East you got Jaden and Dak, and then and then you got Burrow and Lamar in the North, Josh Allen in the East. But it's like, okay, you come to the South, it's like, okay, between Penix, whoever the Saints starter, Baker, Bryce, and then you got Trevor, Daniel Jones, CJ Stroud, and Cam Ward's like, what the heck? It's like a hodgepodge. You don't know what's going to happen. So I will say that the South Division are probably the most fun divisions to watch because hey, it's the war of attrition and which quarterbacks from each division is going to come out on top. So
Uh, my players to watch: Tyson Campbell, hoping he can get back to the form that he was before he got the contract, and then Trevor Lawrence. And I had made these like I want to say I was trying to pick one offensive player and two offensive players, and then the more I kept making them, the more I kept adding more players. So uh, these are just two of the players that I'm keeping my eye on this year. And then for the rookies, Wyatt Miller, Travis Hunter, and Jack Kaiser. I want to see if Jack Kaiser can take Devin Lloyd's spot this year. It could be a possibility. You just never know. Um, we're gonna jump into more or less before we get up out of here. I think
yeah,
we're doing a good job with this, John.
yeah, we ain't doing too bad. But me with the players to watch. I know you more of a player to watch type of guy, and I'm more of a coach type of watch. How's Liam Coen going to be his first year at the helm, probably calling plays. His show. You're in charge of the offense and the defense. Um, Shah Khan is he going to be patient like he said he is with it? He's going to let you do your thing, run your organization. James Gladstone coming up from LA, his imprint on the what he how he see things. He's young, so he's gonna be eager to go out there and make things happen. So I'm looking for more of the not players to watch because I expect things out of certain players. Like you expect Trevor Lawrence to come out there and be a 30, 35, and 10 guy, and because of who he is and his stature and what he was projected to be coming out of Clemson. So I'm looking at coaching staffs on the offensive side of the ball. How comfortable can Trevor be going into week 1, week 2, week 3? I'm just looking for this level of comfortability. And if he's comfortable and he's back there just standing back there and throwing it around and making all the right reads, then this is a definite W for Trevor Lawrence. But like we said earlier, he's been through two coaches now, 3 coaches now. So yeah, 2 coaches. So hopefully, Coen is the end all be all, and hope that's a long term relationship that we can see for many years.
Yeah, great point. And then what we were talking about yesterday with Rand Carthon getting fired, only having 2 years left. So who was their GM? I'm blanking on his name.
Bergonzi.
No, the the
Before,
the Jag the Jags GM,
Trent Baalke.
Trent Baalke. So you get him up out of there. Okay, and then Gladstone. I don't know if Gladstone was hired before Cohen was hired, and I'm pretty sure Cohen had some kind of say. You said
Yeah, I
in
believe so.
that.
I think it was Gladstone, then Cohen, I believe.
So either way, they coming in together, same year. Now, if Trevor doesn't bomb out, hey, we got something to talk about. Then, if that doesn't work out, now you're going into a situation. Okay, what do we do? What do you think is the best situation? Are we trading this guy away? I mean, what are we getting rid of him? I mean, what? So now you got to go and find you another quarterback. Oh, the head coach will probably get fired before the GM will. So really, Cohen's probably got a 2 year. Really, coaches any new coach, anyways, pretty much 2 years.
Yeah, because as we see now, man, these owners are picking these quarterbacks over these GMs and coaches because it's hard to find one. Trust me, I know it's hard to find a franchise quarterback in this league. So you want to keep you want to keep the quarterback around, not unless he just say, "Hey, I don't want to be there." And we know how the player empowerment movement is with these players. Hey, if they say they don't want to be somewhere, they're not going to be there. But if it all fails in 2 years, 3 years max, Trevor's probably still going to be there, and they're going to probably be on another GM and head coach, and they're going to have to introduce Trevor to a whole new system all over again.
Come on, Trev, man, get it right, man. Uh, Going into more or less, Trevor Lawrence, 2,045 yards last year with 11 touchdowns. In terms of yards and touchdowns, does he go more or less?
You already know the answer to this, man. It has to be, it has to be more in both. You got to be, you got to be dang near 4,000 yards, 29 and 30, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 12 interceptions. I look for him to have those numbers, barring injury or anything of that matter.
Shout out to Jay Quimby. Jay said that Trevor is not the answer.
Ooh.
We shall see, Jay. We shall see. Um, I see this team going in a different direction from Travis Etienne. I think it's only time. It's only a matter of time. Tank Bixby could be in line to start, but I'm also thinking Bashul is in there as well. You also picked up LaQuint Allen. Who knows what's going to happen with that? But with Tank Bixby, 766 yards with 7 touchdowns. In terms of yards, does he go more or less than 766?
I'm going to say less. He probably be in that 500 to 600 range, only because, Bashar Tootin, we all know he Virginia Tech went a 4.2, 4.3. He's explosive. And yeah, man, you still got ET on the roster, whether you like it or not. He's still there. He's a former first round pick. He still has a little bit to give you, whether you like him or not. I mean, that's TBD. But I'm gonna say less because there's gonna be so much changeover and turmoil. Well, not turmoil. I'm just not gonna say turmoil, but only able one ball.
Uh, should I go Brian Thomas?
Yeah, go Brian Thomas for me.
Brian Thomas had 1282 on the yards and 10 touchdowns.
1282 on the yards and 10 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say he. What you think? Yeah, he can go up a little more. Yeah, I think he'll be around. I think he'll be in the 90, over 100 balls, 1,300 yards, probably 10 to 12 touchdowns. So I'm gonna say yards. He's gonna raise it up another level and stay right where he had the touchdowns.
Jake Wimby also said Allen is a monster on defense. So let's go straight to him. He had 8 sacks last year, 17 and a half the year before. Does he get back on track? More or less than 8 sacks.
I don't think he gets more. I think he gets back on track. Like I said, maybe you can say he lost weight and he just didn't adjust well or whatever the case may be. But before he went to Josh Hines Allen, he was just Josh Allen. He was a terror. Now I don't know if it's putting getting a hyphenated name had something to do with him production sliding, but when he was Josh Allen, he was like, oh my God. But Josh Hines Allen, he said it's in him. Him and Trayvon Walker will have to go to the next level. So I'm gonna say I don't say he not hit that 17 mark, but he probably be around that 11 and 12 mark, and be just as good as he was a couple years ago.
Come on, Cumberland County.
Yeah.
He from Cumberland. So,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Cumberland, man. So who we touched on? Josh Hines Allen. Uh, Devin Lloyd going into a contract year. 113 tackles. Does he go more or less?
What you think? All right, so we're gonna say less. Because like you say, hey, you got a dog behind you, and Jack Kaiser is gonna push you. He's gonna see the field, and you got a lure calm there as well. So I'm gonna say less, and he probably get up out of there next year. They go in a different direction because they don't, Notre Dame, they have good players, and I think Kaiser was one of their good players. So I'm gonna say less than 113 tackles.
Liam Coen played every game in his 7-year career. He played every game other than 2020.
Mm.
He missed. I think 2020 was the year that they were still playing 17 games, but he only played 15 because I don't think they played. I don't think they went to 17 games or 18 games until like 2021.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Either
Something
way,
like
that's a heck of an Iron Man, boy. That's crazy.
16, 16, 15, 17, 17, 17, up into 13 last season.
That's what you call availability. Like, bro, I can't even
Yes.
get mad at you for being missing 2 games, bro. You been out here when we was dog crap, 0-15, 0-16. You out here balling, bro. You can miss a game or two, so I ain't even mad. But yeah, man, that's Iron Man type stuff right there.
So on him, 108, he had 108 tackles. Does he go more or less?
I'm gonna say he stay right where he at, bro. Even kill. He's been steady Eddie, probably one of the best players in that team. So I'm gonna say steady Eddie, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we go up 120. So, but to be safe, I'm gonna say about 108, 110.
All right. Jay, hey, what do you think the Jags going to do this year? Will they make the playoffs? Will it be another flop? Give your thoughts on it. Everybody else, give your thoughts on it as well. So, our last question before we get out of here, my question to you: what do you think? What is your last final thoughts on the Jaguars, and how do you think that they will fare out this year?
My final thought on the Jaguars this year is um, Trevor Lawrence. You got the keys to the Ferrari. This is your franchise. Let's act like it. I should be seeing you come out, take command like Joe Burrow do. You should be pushing to be in that upper echelon of top quarterbacks. You got your big four, Herbert, or big five, or however you want to cut it and skin it. You should be knocking on their heels by the end of the year and say, "Hey, is there a seat at the table for me?" So that's how I feel it should be. And Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter, man, I want to see how Travis Hunter does playing both sides of the ball, with different packages and whatever the case may be. Brian Thomas taking that next step, being that number one for him, for Trevor Lawrence. And overall, I just want to see how this team fares up in the division with the new head coach and the new system and new staff, and see if they can push Houston to win a division. We know Houston won a division past couple of years. CJ Stroud ain't going nowhere no time soon. His bag is on the way, so he's not going nowhere for a while. And we'll touch on him tomorrow and his team. But yeah, man, I'm gonna see if they can push CJ Stroud and make the South a little more harder than what it's been for him.
So my thing is same thing with Trevor. Like I want to see you take the next step, man. Like start putting some good numbers up. The offensive line has definitely got to play in the part too. The run game. Who is going to be that dynamic like that starting running back? Like who does it start with, and who else do you have behind it? Also, Brian Thomas. You know him going into his second year. What is that going to look like? And then with same thing with you with Travis Hunter, what does the snaps look like? You know, how's it going to look on offense? How's it going to look on defense? How are they going to, use him? And then with defense, the pass rush has definitely got to get better. Like 32 sacks, you were fifth worst in the league. That's got to get better. And I expect Trayvon Walker to have another big season, as well as Hines Allen too. So I mean, with the Hines Allen now, I don't know. It's like you said before, he was Hines, he
He
was
was
elevated.
like that. Yeah, he was like that.
So also Tyson Campbell too. I want to see if Tyson Campbell can um, be that force that he was before he got that contract, and then see who else on the other side, whether it's Travis Hunter or whether it's Jerry and Jones or whoever over there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man. And like you say, Jacksonville don't have their first round pick next year, so they got to. Yeah, man, they can't have Cleveland up in there with number 1, 2 overall pick, man. If you over here 4-13 this year, man, Cleveland picking in the top 5 twice next year, and that's bad news if that's the case.
yeah, man. Hi, Mama. My mother-in-law on the chat. How you doing? Um, I think that's it for the Jags. So we'll be back with the Texans tomorrow. We almost went an hour, man. That's pretty dope, man.
Hour with the Jags, that's crazy, man. We went an hour and 20 with the Saints, man. So if we get an hour in with the Jags, we
Oh,
doing good. I think with an hour and 30 with the Saints, man. I was like, woo. But yeah, man,
yeah,
I mean, hour ain't bad at all.
yeah. So everybody tune in tomorrow. We got the Texans as the last team in the AFC South, and then we're gonna go to the NFC East.
I think
Talk
the
about
NFC East is going to be the most talked about. I might get cussed out when we get to the Commanders, the Cowboys. Definitely the Cowboys. I know I'm gonna be. Hey man, I might have to go in and hide and witness protection when we get to the end because that's gonna be a fun one. Because most of my friends and most everybody in that area, either you're a Commanders fan or you're a daggone a Cowboys fan, or you're a Philly fan. So yeah, man, I might be everything in the book when we get to the NFC East. I don't know where we're gonna start. We might start the NFC East. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely looking forward to that division in particular because I got some strong choice words about Mr. Um, Jared Jones down there in Dallas. So matter of
oh,
fact,
Jerry been showing off, man.
I think when we get to let's do the NFC East and we'll start with the Cowboys first and get it out the way because I know it might be a bloodbath on this comment section when we get to them. So, but yeah, man, nevertheless, Texans next, and yeah, man, we ready to roll.
Everybody tune in tomorrow. Don't forget like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever it is. On YouTube as well. So hello to everybody over there. And until then.